this is the Lourdes and Chris show. This gorgeous breath of amazingness next to me is my wife, Lourdes. She's absolutely spectacular, super intelligent, super smart, and let's face facts. She is super sexy. It is all of the above. She's all the above. She's the whole package, and if you don't know her, you obviously need to get to know her because she's that spectacular. I'm lucky to have her as my partner in all things, including the show that we do every week, and I absolutely look forward to it because I get to do it with her. It's one of our little things that we get to do. And I am more excited than when a doctor prescribes a bunch of unnecessary procedures just to pad his wallet.
I just think that's so funny.
Yeah, let's not say that they do that. I'm just saying if I was a corrupt doctor who was prescribing a bunch of unnecessary procedures just to, pad my wallet, then that's how excited I am.
And this is my husband, Chris, who I dearly love with every part of my being. And I enjoy that we do this show every day. We do. I really do.
Let's keep it above brow, babe.
Yeah,
Talking doo-doo.
But I really, I have fun. I look forward to doing the show weekly with you.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we always said it's obviously our calling, because when you're in the midst of your calling and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, it flows easily. It's not what is it saying? If you're doing what you love, you never work a day in your life. Yep. This doesn't feel like work to us. I mean,
no, it just feels like fun, like we're playing. And
although when the darn thing doesn't work right with the editing and the thing, that's not so much fun. But this right here,
but doing the show together absolutely. Is fun, and educating people on the things we learned and the research. And then anytime we share, we want you guys to research. It's so important because then you can find out things that they say opposite of that, and you can find things that they say it's an agreement with what we're sharing. And then what I love about it, you can look at actual evidence. Yeah. Sometimes the ones that go opposite, you really don't find evidence other than just saying. So that's kind of fun to find too, and then kind of dot down notes. Yeah.
So you said my name was Chris, right?
I did. So this is my husband, Chris, who I enjoy doing this, and I love him with my every being. Just like he's excited more than the doctor that pads his pockets with unnecessary procedures, I'm so excited that we do this show all the time. Just like when people go and they get on certain supplements and diets, it's a really healthy lifestyle.
It's true. That's the rewarding part of it.
Yeah. So, and it's like, do you make money on it? How much money does the doctor make on that?
Straight up.
It's crazy when people say that, but it's like in reality, I just enjoy people feeling good and then reaching out and then saying, I got on this stuff, this thing went away. And I always tell them, it's because your body did it. Because your body finally got the tools it needs. Yeah. And that's what excites me.
Right. Yeah, she gets excited about that. She does, actually. She called me at work and she'd be like, oh, so-and-so called me.
Oh, my gosh.
They're doing so much better, and the lumps went away, and it's a whole thing.
These things are gone.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah, it's fun.
So this week we thought we would take a topic. And we chose psoriasis because we actually know a lot about it, because I've had issues with it in the past.
But we know a lot of people too that have that issue.
Well, that's the thing is, so we chose this one just because we can actually speak to a lot of the different aspects of it. But what we're trying to do for a takeaway for everybody this week is to how one approaches literally any health opportunity that presents itself.
Yes.
So we're going to pick on psoriasis because we know a lot about that. But it could be true for cancer. It could be true for like inflammation issues. It could be true for asthma. Anything.
Skin issues, eye issues.
Yeah, anything.
Kidney issues. Yeah.
Any element that's got you down. Lymphatic systems, thyroid problems. Anything that's got you down. This formula or this process is true as much as it is for that as it is for psoriasis. And so that's
breaking things down.
Right. So
to get to the root cause.
Well, there it is. That's the whole point.
Yeah.
So let's say. One is diagnosed with psoriasis. Now, there's a funny story about that because I was very insistent to Lourdes when this is 20 years ago now.
It's been a long time,
right? I was very insistent to Lourdes that no, it's not psoriasis, and she's like,
yeah,
I read
23
it up on it.
years ago.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute, and she's like, no, because even when we were dating, you already had those like medical books that you could review and
way before I even understood how the body works, how diet is important, and things that I was doing was actually making me sick. I only understood that you just got sick. But I always had this thing where I love knowing about the medical or the health, how things work, how do they diagnose, how do they know these, what are the symptoms of certain things. And so I got Remember, like
it was you had like binders,
a whole library of binders of all these different.
I don't know where
I don't know where they're at now. I missed them.
I hope they're in storage or something. I don't know, but I don't even know where she got them from. But they're just binders that you kind of cross reference what's going on and you can figure out what's happening. And she just had it on her bookshelf because that's how she is. Even now, she's all like, for a gift, if she's asking if I could buy her one of those stitching sets. Like you can buy.
I want to learn how to stitch, and I don't mean stitch clothing. Like
she does not mean that.
If someone got injured and things are kind of crazy in the world,
or we're on a hike or
you're hiking or something happens, right? And you're not in a way where you can actually go to a hospital or a doctor, and you're bleeding, and you need it closed up. I want to be able to know how can I clean the area and stitch it correctly, because just putting the skin together is not the way it is. It's way more than that, and I understood that, and so I got to watch some of the stuff, and I'm like, oh, I want to do that because it actually shows you how to get from the muscle and the tissue and all these little things you put together first before you get the skin. And I'm like, oh, I want to learn to do that because
see how excited she is. She's more excited than learning how to stitch someone together. Here's the thing. This is what she does.
Yeah, I love that stuff.
This is what she does when we're just chillaxing on the bed. Winding down the day. I may be playing some puzzle game or some nonsense like that, or reading a book or whatever. Lourdes is looking at videos on how to stitch a wound. Yeah, and she found out that there's a kit that you can buy that you can actually practice.
Yes. Yeah.
And she she gets excited and she goes, oh, look at this, and she gets all excited. So it's on her wish list now. She wants that.
It is. So. I really, really want that, and I want to really practice it consistently on this thing, and because it shows like different size of wounds and what you have to do. Because it's not like people just think they just put the skin. No, there's like layers of skin. There's the tissue and the muscle, like all these things you gotta. And I was like, I want to learn this. It's important.
So some people go for walks. Some people have little habits. I have a good friend from high school. She makes puzzles with her husband, and that's what their wind down is. No, Lourdes looks at videos on how to stitch an open wound. Anyways, I digress. So Lourdes had cross-referenced my symptoms, and she said, I think you've got psoriasis. I'm like, no, I don't have psoriasis. That's crazy.
Right, and then a doctor gave you the wrong diagnosis.
Yes, that's right. I remember that. And that was my go-to little, ha-ha.
No,
it's not this, it's this.
He
said, I don't remember what he said.
I forget what it was that he said. And but by reading what I read and looked at because the books we had, it was like very detailed.
Yes.
And it was talking about psoriasis and what it looked like and what happens and like all those things. And then it goes into like photos. Remember? I mean, he had it on his nails.
Pitted nails was one of the symptoms.
Your skin and your nails. Mm-hmm. And I said all of that is psoriasis, including your nails. Yeah. And the doctor here I went to first made everything completely something different. That's something else,
It's true. And he was equating different things on my body to different things.
Complete different things.
Lourdes is the whole time like, he's
got psoriasis.
So we went for a second opinion, remember?
And we went to a dermatologist.
Yes, and we went to this is a true story. We went to this place that it was a school. It was a hospital, but it was also where
they had students that would come.
Right. And so we're in there, and we're getting a second opinion because Lourdes is sure it's psoriasis.
I'm like, I knew.
And I had it in a personal area.
I was like, no.
And so Lourdes was in a room with me, and the doctor was looking at my personal area where it is, and I'm like, yep, there it is. It's right there. And he goes, actually, we've got some students. Do you mind if they come in and take a look?
And they came in, a whole slew of them.
It was like 6 students.
It was hilarious.
I was waist down naked. And they were just looking at my business and reviewing the psoriasis and taking notes. Lourdes was just like this.
Mm-hmm, I was all into it. But because I was just like, this is so intriguing.
That's a true story. That's how I was diagnosed with psoriasis. Anyways.
And that's when he said it. And then he said, oh, how about the nails? And then he's like, all of that is psoriasis. Yes. I'm like.
Yeah, he did.
I stated that.
Boy, the whole ride home, boy. She had We Are the Champions was on the radio. Yeah. She was laughing hysterically because she was right. Anyways, I digress. So. You get a diagnosis of psoriasis. So, and we're just picking on psoriasis. Like I said, whatever your diagnosis is, we have a good friend who's a writer-director, and he does movies and stuff. What he does, he's kind of clever. He'll go to see the doctor to get a prognosis.
I love that, yes.
And then he goes home and he Googles how to heal himself naturally. He does some research. He gets into it.
He looks for certain, because not like, you used to could go to.
No, Google's not what it was. Yeah, you're right.
So I wasn't trying to say any names, but I'm just saying that in general.
So when she bleeps this after we're editing it now, I said something I shouldn't have said.
I bleep it. But what I'm saying is just in general, you go in the browsers and it didn't matter which one you went to. You could just say, how do I heal
whatever
cancer?
Kidney stones.
Gallbladder. Whatever. It didn't matter. Psoriasis, whatever. And you just put it in and you get this long list of all these natural things to heal. How, what nature brought to heal those issues. And that's what he would do. He'd go there just to know what it was so he can go take care of it.
And to his credit, he had a good doctor that was a member of his team. And that kind of is a segue into what we're going to talk about right now. Yeah. But it was a member of his team, somebody that the doctor knew who he was and how he was. And he knew he just wanted a prognosis. He didn't want, don't tell me what to do about it. I'm going to take care of that.
Don't give me any prescription.
So he's still like that, and that's how he lives. But the key point there is, and this is the first step. Yeah. You want a team. You want a good team. You want a good team, and your team is often your family. I had friends, but my member of my team, my tribe, was Lourdes. Right? I mean, she was like, I know what this is because I've looked into it, and I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Let's go get a second opinion. But she was definitely part of my team from the get go. But my mom, my dad, my parents, my siblings, these are all members of my team. So you want to get a team, whatever you're dealing with, whatever you're facing, whatever health opportunity you're dealing with right now. You want a good team. And if you could find a good doctor who's just willing to work with you, when Lourdes was dealing with her cancer, we actually had a good doctor who instead of telling her what to do, was more like, well, what are you doing now?
Yeah, what are you doing now? And then he was the type where he said, let's do a whole blood work. Let's find out what you're low on, what vitamins or minerals you're deficient in, so we can put that back into your body. Like he understood you needed a balance. And he got very clear. I didn't want any medications. Right. So you got to find a doctor that
listens to you as
he
an
looks
intelligent
at you,
person.
Yeah, and he looks at you knowing that you're going to know more about your body than he is.
Yes.
He's literally just going by what you're saying.
An advisory position.
Yeah. So it's more of like, okay, that sounds like, and because they are trained in a certain little box thing where this is where their little tools are at. They can kind of guide you, but never think that you're never in control when it comes to your health or your life.
And never relinquish your control. I mean, that's the whole idea behind options A, B, and C. You don't ever want to just relinquish your control.
And get someone who talks to you at the same level as you. Not someone who speaks to you as though you don't know anything. You're coming to me because I know it all. And the moment I give you something and you don't want to do it, then you're an idiot. Get away from all those types of doctors.
Right, exactly.
Because there are good doctors. And the good doctors work with you. And they have a balance. They have to be careful.
Well, I mean, to your point, even the doctor you were working with who said, "What are you doing now?" He would still suggest to Lourdes, "Well, you could do this. This is an option. There's this."
Well, what I liked about him though,
I didn't push it.
Is I always said, anything I do, I want to do it naturally. It has to come from nature. And he would then go, oh, there's these mushrooms, or oh, there's this thing.
That's true. He would do his own research.
Yep.
In fact, Dr. Newsom does, our good friend of a show, Dr. Newsom, and we've had him on many times. So if you go to the lourdesandchrisshow.com, you can see all the former episodes on there, and also Rumble. So both those places, if you go to Rumble, the lourdesandchrisshow.com, we've got all the episodes on there as well. You'll find that we had a few episodes with Dr. Newsom, and the reason why is because he's amazing. But he does teleconference consultations as well. That's something you can get a hold of him with Dr. Newsom.
You can go to drnewsom.com and you can reach out to him, get a consultation. He's got, by the way, great products on there as well that we love.
Yes, he does. Yeah. So just throwing it out there, he's a doctor that we know now that would obviously not tell you what you have to do, but advise you in what he would recommend.
Yeah, what he recommends.
So now we're at the point where we've built a team. Yep. You need to do research. So I got psoriasis, and so we found a book by Dr. Pagano. Yep. And it's called the Pagano Diet, and he's the guy that did this. And what he discovered was psoriasis is in fact leaky gut. It's got nothing to do with your skin. Nope. And the faulty approach that a lot of, this is 23 years ago, the medical field was doing is they were trying to address the outside. They were giving me steroids and whatever else. They were trying to address the outside because they were treating it like it was a skin condition. Yeah. But we learned through Pagano and then reaffirmed years later when we started doing research for
even more stuff.
That your skin is in reaction to what's happening internally. Yep. And it's not untrue.
Even when it comes to acne, eczema, anything that has to do with the skin, when you see a breakout and it could be detoxing some junk that's going out. If you have eczema or any of those kind of skin issues, it's what's going on inside your gut.
Your skin's a filter. Yep. That's the whole point.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's yet another filter, and so something happening is your body's way of saying, there's toxins coming through here.
Yeah.
And so my point is that you do some research. You figure out what's going on. You do some research. You weigh your options. You look into the different options. Yes. It's crucial that you do that. That's being option C 100% because you're taking control of the situation and you're looking into what works. So Pagano diet is incredibly strict. It's no nightshades.
Nope.
His whole point is to address the leaky gut. Now here's the thing.
To heal.
Right.
So you're addressing once you give the body what it needs so that the body starts healing and addressing that part.
Saffron was the tea, saffron tea, and
So when you're doing those things, then that gets better, and then everything else gets better. And that's kind of like what it does. It's just a domino effect of your body now able to address it. And there's times that you have to do these things because if you're having an issue, it's because the body can't address it.
Right.
And so you have to repair that. And the repair
Which is what was... And actually, it wasn't until maybe 5 years ago we kind of put two and two together. The reason why I got psoriasis in the first place is because to get employment at this one company that I work for,
that's
we
right.
were around some toxic areas, some toxic chemicals and stuff. I had to get certain shots, vaccines in order to work there, and it was just cause and effect. If you pay attention, I had to get these vaccines to work.
Yeah,
at this
I know.
company.
We didn't think about it at the time.
At the time, it did not. It was just like, all right, well,
you didn't have any issues until after that.
Right. It manifested some years later.
Yep.
So that's the thing. So it's one of those things where you go, okay,
that year.
Oh, it was that year. You're right. It was within that year
before I left.
So anyways, that's just a little sidebar. I mean, we were able to even kind of think it through and realize why it happened to me in the first place. But at the end of the day, it was my gut that was the issue. And so
and some people may have it because they take lots of antibiotics through their life, and that destroys
and the flora is all gone.
Yeah. So now your good bacteria that's in your gut is kind
of
gone.
It's an autoimmune problem, right? And so if you pay attention to all the different commercials, there are commercials out there right now that say your psoriasis will completely clear up or could completely clear up in 1 or 2 treatments. It's a shot or it's a pill or whatever.
Yeah.
And what's funny is if you pay attention to any of those autoimmune inhibitors, but what they're doing is they're telling your immune system to calm down.
Yep.
If you pay attention to...
So stop working.
Yeah, essentially. And if you pay attention to the warnings...
it makes sense that if your immune system
in fact,
goes
that same dermatologist, I approached him, remember, even at the
time?
Right,
about the medication.
And I said,
I
think there's a shot that I could just take,
It was a pill.
Oh, that's right, it was a pill.
Yeah, it was a pill.
And he said, I won't prescribe that for you. He said, it's a carcinogenic.
He said it causes cancer.
Then.
Yeah, even then he's like, it can cause... And he didn't go like it can cause cancer, like the chance of you catching is so rare.
He made it seem like
he was just like,
cancer.
You'll probably end up with cancer and it's not worth it, so we're not going to do that.
And he actually said that he reserved that for people who had psoriasis so severe it had gotten to their bones and like I guess it can get that bad.
Yeah, but outside of that, no.
Yeah, he's like, no, we're just gonna treat. At the time, he gave me topical stuff because I don't think he realized.
Right, because he didn't know about they're not trained to heal the end to fix the out.
So that's what we're saying is when you do your research, you're going to find that no matter what you're dealing with, no matter what your ailment is, you're going to find that there are obviously your doctor is going to prescribe certain things to you or not. Maybe they don't. I don't know.
There's some of them. I will say
chiropractors or whatever won't do. I mean,
many of them. I shouldn't even say many. There are some doctors that are coming around and saying, "I got to address the diet.
Mm-hmm.
I got to address what's going on in their life."
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of times your diet's off, but that also triggers your lifestyle. And if your lifestyle is off balance and your life is chaotic and your relationships are chaotic or your job is chaotic, it's something about everything being chaotic. You end up kind of attracting everything else that way.
Right.
And your habits.
And so to your point, because health is an approach for mind, body, and spirit, it's important to note that we have just the last episode we were talking about one of the centers is your emotional stability with your social surroundings, and that affects your bones, your joints, and your skin. And sure enough, psoriasis is here now. If you pay attention to what happened in my lifetime in my life at that moment, I did have issues with my family, not my whole family, specifically my dad. And it was one of those things where my dad and I did not see eye to eye on a great many things. I actually held him in really poor regard at the time. It was incredibly strict growing up, and it wasn't only until years later I could appreciate what he was doing for us kids and being that strict. And I am so grateful that before my dad passed away, he and I had worked out those differences, and we knew we loved each other greatly. So sorry, I'm getting emotional, but it's one of those things where I did have a problem with my social. If you pay attention, I did have a problem with my emotional social thing going on with my dad, and I had a lot of angst and anguish against my dad at the time. So it makes sense.
And then not just that. So you add that relationship issue, and then it was during the time that I came out to California. And so you were holding off 2 jobs.
Yep, it's true.
And so now, we're not together, and that was almost a year worth of that.
Yep.
So we would talk FaceTime on AOL, whatever, chat, the video thing, but it wasn't the same.
No, I know.
So between the issue that you had at the time with the relationship with your dad, and then not that we had an issue with the relationship, but we weren't together.
Right, and so that was stressful.
Yeah.
You're right. It was
so now you have that going on, and then you get a shot to get this job that destroys this. Well, it's really going to just take it to another level.
And this all comes from research. This all comes from us taking a severe step back or a serious step back and saying, what has happened? Why has this health opportunity presented itself? And what we're trying to stress to you is this.
It happens.
Idea, this approach is true no matter what it is you're facing. No matter what it is that your health opportunity looks like. Even if you're tired all the time, there's something to look at there.
Why are you always tired?
Yeah.
When you go to bed and you have insomnia, why do you have insomnia? Are you, how's your life going on? What's causing you to overly think that then affects your serotonin, which creates your own melatonin so that you can go to sleep?
All that.
When you get stressed about anything, now that's getting affected. And now you can't sleep, but then now you're exhausted. And it doesn't matter how tired you get, you still can't get that sleep.
Right, exactly.
So, yeah.
And so,
address it all.
And that's one of those things where if you approach it in the right way, first of all, you have to acknowledge there's something your body isn't working completely. There's something that needs to be addressed.
Yeah, if you have a health opportunity, an opportunity to address something that's off, right? That's an opportunity to get yourself together.
100%.
So if you're having one of those problems, and it doesn't matter what it is, we're just happening addressing psoriasis because I think of many people that have psoriasis or eczema because they're all in the same family.
And also they're in the same family, and also if you have any autoimmune disorders going on, and it runs in, I'm not going to say it runs in my family, but it has affected several members of my family. Yep. In different ways. One has lupus, one has fibromyalgia, one has, this list goes on and on. Arthritis, so these are all autoimmune disorders, and all of them should be addressed the same direction. Okay, I have this. What caused this? Who's my team? Who's got my back on this? And the team
you got to write it like a journal, right?
Absolutely. No, we're big on journaling. You're absolutely right.
You want to get up in the morning and then just start writing what you do from the very first moment you wake up in the morning. I got up. I took a moment to pray or meditate or
that's
focus
the spiritual aspect of it.
To start your day. Then you look in the mirror and you're really loving yourself and you're brushing. So you're writing the things that I drank this or I ate that, and you start paying attention to your habit. I was in a hurry. I had to hurry up. So now your body's like this because you're doing all these things to hurry up to get to the job or whatever it is, right? So you got to put everything together to really understand what's going on. What's the bigger picture that's happening in my life,
right? So
I can address it all,
right? I mean, it's like if you look at the foundation of your house and it's got a crack in it. Well, that's not good. But something happened. There's some underlying issues that caused a crack in the foundation, and if you don't address that, you could spackle that crack all day, every day. It's just going to keep being a problem. And I think, unfortunately, a lot of the professional medical field, their approach is to say, "I see that crack in the foundation. Let's just put a little. We'll put some cement on there. See, the crack is fixed." And it's like it's really not. I mean, it's
no. You just covered it underneath that mess. The crack is still there, and the thing that caused that crack is still, whether it's because there's not enough, ground to keep it stiff. Whatever the reasoning
could be a leak outside.
Yeah, that's running it and making it right. So you didn't fix that problem, but. So underneath that, and then before you know it, that crack ends up making the crack again. So now you got a crack all over again.
Yep.
But it's worse because underneath is never got addressed.
I don't think we've ever said crack so many times in one episode.
Right? Cracky crack.
Crack.
But, talking about crack, if you don't fix the crack and address what caused the crack is going to end up having a sinkhole.
The crack will break your back. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, so it's just funny how we say crack a lot in that little segue. It just
crackety crack. Okay.
It occurred to me we were saying crack quite a bit there.
No reason to they did say crack a lot.
This is what we call the crack episode. It's not what you think. So it's one of those things where so it's just because what happens is Lourdes will consult people, And she's consulted people for several different reasons, and just offering her advice on what she would do. And she does that because she does want people to be healthy, mind, body, and spirit. It's definitely her calling. She has a gift for it. But she does suggest journaling, and she does push for people to journal. She does push for people to look at the bigger picture. Don't look at that one little problem there. There's a bigger thing happening here. We need to figure out what that is. And if we can get to that, we can get that taken care of, then the rest, and even the emotional and spiritual, it's all the above, guys. It's the whole.
I mean, we get people sometimes where they'll say, "I eat healthy," you know, and sometimes they do, and a lot of times what they consider healthy is, I'm just like, yeah, that's not healthy.
That's not.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, just give me a list of how what do you eat for breakfast, lunch, dinner? What do you snack on? And then when they give me the list, I'm just like, they didn't mention one healthy thing.
Or there's a lot of health foods out there that are disguised as health foods, but they're really not good.
And they're not. So so then you hear. So I listened to that. I was like, oh my gosh. I said, well, that's first the problem. One of the problems. But and then for those,
I love that you said one of the problems because it's never just one thing, guys.
No.
It's never just like
it's just the way you're eating. It's
if you get into a car accident, it's obvious that's the thing that's got you messed up, right? I mean, that one thing.
No, not even that. Because you get in a car accident, it didn't just that the cars just hit. Something happened. Yeah. One person was either looking down or something, or their brakes went out, whatever their thing is.
Sure, you're right.
This other person didn't pay attention, try to, defense drive. So kind of there's more to just an accident.
No, I appreciate your point, but what I'm saying is if I get in an accident and I break my arm, so that's what I mean. Yeah. Like that was clearly cause and effect for that.
Right, yeah. That hit that, but this happened and then before you know it, you had that. Yeah. But still,
so it's one of those things where if you need to start figuring out that there's more to work on than just
the one thing.
And I know, guys, it's daunting. You go, oh no, there's so much to do. Not really.
No, in fact, if you change your perspective on it,
yes,
like make it fun.
Sure.
And go, this week I'm going to create myself to be this healthy person, and doing that I'm going to be a detective and I'm going to investigate, and then I'm going to write it down. I'm just going to and then when you're doing these things and you're learning and you're changing and you're feeling great, you almost don't want to go back to it. You're like, I'm good.
And it comes down to you have to have profound love for yourself. You have to love yourself. And if you find that if you throw it away, if you're going, yeah, I love myself. Do you love yourself? Yeah. Like, do you have this deeply profound, or do you know yourself to be amazing? Do you know yourself to be?
Do you look at your temple and go,
right?
I'm going to take care of this temple.
Yeah.
If I can take care of my car or my home or my place, I'm definitely going to take care of where my spirit is in, right?
Right.
So if my soul and my spirit is in this temple, it deserves the best. And so you take care of it. Not just on the physical, because when you take care of the inside, the outside also takes care of itself. But it's really looking at the temple as this precious thing that you have that you get to be in and live.
It's one of those things we're going to have to unpack that a little bit deeper in some other episode about the profoundly loving yourself, because it's certainly important. Something we have to unpack.
Because everybody can go, of course I love myself. Everybody can say, of course they love myself.
The other thing
then think about how many times you go, oh, I wish I didn't have this, or if I had that, or
Well, to your point, I mean, look, Lourdes at one time when Lourdes and I were first dating, Lourdes and I both were standard American diet. We ate meat every meal and on. And now you would think
I ate more sugar than anything.
She mostly ate sugar, yeah. And you would think that your knee-jerk reaction to this is to say, if I give up sugar, I'm going to miss sugar. Yes, at first you will. Well,
it's not that you miss it; you crave it.
Well, whatever. Yeah. But what I'm saying is what we found though is now if Lourdes or I eat something sugary, we go, ooh,
yeah. Before I didn't.
What happened here? It's like, ooh, this is just too much. Your body gets acclimated, so it's not like it's difficult to maintain something, because once you're in the flow of it, once you're in the better healthy living idea of it, you actually don't crave those things that you thought you craved before. In fact, they're kind of repulsive.
Yeah, it gets a little strong.
You think, ooh, I drank soda at one time. Ooh,
yeah.
It's just one of those things. Where
I quit a long
time
ago. I did.
You sure did. Yeah.
I was like, nah.
Yeah, I was more of a holdout than you were on that one, but
and that was even before I even knew about health. I just was like, I don't want to drink soda.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, but I'm just saying, whatever it is that you're currently doing that's causing your body harm or your temple harm, it's one of those things that yes, you're gonna obviously choose to not do that anymore.
And then
initially it might feel difficult, but after a bit, you're going to realize how amazing it is to not have that in your life, and you're not even going to crave it anymore.
So the takeaway is you get a team. You start with a doctor. You make sure that the doctor is, if you like most people are preferring, is naturopathic doctors, doctors that are more geared to, I like to say, true health.
Yeah.
That aren't trying to just put a Band-Aid on it, that want to work with you, that want to listen to what you're saying. When you get a doctor that's listening to you, to your complaints, and then they start asking questions like, how's your relationship? How is your job? How is, you kind of have to get the whole thing. Then they start addressing those things, and you're working with you, because you know your body way more than they do. And I think when you get that, and then you got other people that are saying, hey, that problem you have, I just read this article, or I saw this video, or so, and then you kind of get all these teams together, and you're putting that stuff together to know exactly how to fix that, including when it comes to emotional, because it's always, when it comes to relationship for psoriasis, it's a skin thing. Well, when it comes to skin, it's relationships. Yep. And it's not. It doesn't have to mean like a love relationship. It can be mother, father, work, friend, neighbor, any relationship that can affect you, or that there's an issue, or you're just not, like, you're avoiding. Like, I just want to be home by myself. I don't want to deal with anybody. Any of those things actually affect us.
Sure. And so that you're right. That is the big takeaway. There are steps involved with addressing these things, and we just wanted you to illustrate best we could. It's because people ask, well, how? And it's always the same thing. So we realize there's a formula that we wanted people to share with people. There are a few products out there that actually, no matter what your situation is, no matter what your problem is, are actually beneficial to you through and through. And we found a company that has a line of products that no matter what you're facing, it will address it and assist you and get you into a wholeness.
Yeah. Which I think is so funny, because our brand is create option C, creating an option C to yourself, right? Not option A, just listen to a doctor, or B, do nothing at all, but C, really doing the research and figuring out what's going on in my body, how can I address it so it can heal.
Yes.
And when we found this product, because we've done on many products, and we took them, and we just took them because we know we need that vitamin, or that mineral, or that nutrient. Not that we saw any results or stuff, but we knew that the body runs on that.
Yes.
Because a lot of people get wrapped in, I have to feel. It's like, well, no, if your body runs on that, that's what you need. It's just that simple. A car runs on gas, that's what it needs. It's just that simple. So, but when we found this product and we put the combo together, right? Because it is, and I like that's why it's called the Trinity Pack, because it's the three things. And I thought, wow, it's nourishing, balancing, and cleansing the body.
Which is our tenet.
And that's what Create Option C is. Yep. You got to nourish, balance, and cleanse the body. That's Create Option C. You do the research, and then you nourish, balance, and cleanse. And it's whether it's your mind, body, and spirit. But that's one thing you have to do, and this does exactly that.
Yeah. And once we found it, obviously, the reason why we keep talking about it is because it is just that amazing.
It is. And honestly, guys, it really is that good. If you just take the time to go, now I tell you, if you can't do all three and go, I can do the one thing, then do, out of the three, do the clean slate.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got, it's vitamin C, it's drops that go under your tongue, but it's not just vitamin C, it's the way it was made.
It's proprietary.
Yeah, and it's got over 70 plus trace minerals. It's bioavailable, so it absorbs into the body. Like, it's high. It does. Yeah, it goes into the system, right? But it's very high quality. Like, you can get stuff and go, you don't know if it's high quality. You don't know if there's fillers, or if they use the pores of whatever they got it from. This is top notch. Everything they put in it, it has to be top notch. Right. And you can tell because you see the results when people take them, because it doesn't matter what their issue was, it took care of it. Yep. It was missing puzzle pieces, and it's just putting them in the right spots for people. Like it cleans one thing out while putting simultaneously what you're needing, while taking this thing while rebuilding, and back to its original state, while feeding the brain that works the whole body. It's like this whole. Well, where can they go to find the products, though? Well, so I always tell people, definitely get Clean Slate. You go to it, but if you can do the Trinity, which is what we do, and that comes with the Clean Slate, Restore, and Zero In. Yes. So you want to go to therootbrands.com/Lourdes and Chris, because it is an affiliate, and it is affiliate, and we use it as our show, right? So we found the perfect match of something that not only helps our show, it helps people. It was like, what's the chances that we find something so amazing? And so we just go to the rootbrands.com/Lourdes and Chris, as you see here on the screen, and also in the description.
Yep.
Simple. You go in there, you put your name and your email, you create your free account, and then you go to shop, and you click on which one you want to get. When you go to purchase, you put your information.
And obviously reach out to us with questions.
Yes.
That's the thing. That's the thing about this whole community is we're all available to each other.
Yes.
All the way up. We've met the people who formulated this. We've had interactions with them because they're that available. We become
good friends with them.
They're that available to their they believe in their cause that greatly.
They care.
Yes.
You get a lot of companies like, oh, this person, but no, they are completely 100% involved with the community because their whole goal and their mission, which has been our mission forever, so it was just like, it was perfect marriage there, is to heal the world.
Right.
Literally heal, let's put the stuff in so your body does its job and we'll take care of the things that we can then run our bodies the way it needs to, and we can live our lives that we should.
Now, I just mentioned reaching out to us. There's several ways to do that. If you go to any of the social media outlets, Lourdes is huge on Instagram. We were comparing notes. Me, not so much.
Just started. It's lately when I just didn't care anymore. And I'm I'm going to share my truths. And then it just went boom.
For some reason. But we're also on Facebook. We're also on, you can catch our shows on YouTube when they let us put it on there. It's on Rumble. It's on...
you can find us on Facebook. Mm-hmm. And also on Facebook, look for Create Option C, the group.
Yes.
And you can, you just go on there and we'll add you. Share your story when if you guys get on this stuff. Mm-hmm. And you got results. I have yet to find someone who didn't get results when they took it faithfully. Yeah. Not that I did it one day. It's like, no.
No, in fact, if you can follow, and share us, it actually helps us immensely when you do so. Yes. And the reason why we say that is and share the videos and share what we're talking about because
you don't know who needs to know the thing you know or watched or heard.
That's right. You don't know. And so by sharing and by doing that, you're spreading the word, and it's going to reach the person that needs to hear it. We believe that fully because we believe there's divine interactions with this.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what
people are like,
So check us out on all these different social media platforms. We're also on the LourdesandChrisShow.com, obviously, which is another way for you to reach out to us. You can just send us an email from there if we do respond. But yeah, you're going to see more of us, guys. We're just deciding to double down on a lot of stuff. You're going to see more sketches from us.
Yes.
You go on to TikTok or Instagram Reels, and you'll see we're going to introduce the TLC SNS, which is the Lourdes and Chris Show Short and Sweets.
Yep.
We understand that all of you people don't have quite 40 minutes, to review all of our stuff. So we're going to show off some short and sweet tips, little nuggets of information that we're going to throw out to you in a more shorter format for you guys.
And please do share your stories with us. We really love, whether you're on this stuff or you change your diet and you want to share that, we love to hear all those stories. Yes. It really is. It is about a community coming together, sharing information so that others can, because everybody's searching. Everybody wants to be healthy. Everyone wants to feel good.
That's part of the whole building your team right there, yeah.
So share, and we share and share our stuff, and we'll share your stuff. And that's what we do.
That's what we do. Yeah. So we're going to see you again in about a week because that's how this works. The Lourdes and Chris Show is out every Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Plus our little spatterings of short and sweets that we're going to be getting out there now. So we're going to be out everywhere. In your face.
In your face.
Yeah, so we absolutely love you. Appreciate you joining us and spending time with us. You're making a difference by being here, and we appreciate that, and we see you for who you are. So we absolutely love you, and we'll see you again in about a week.
See ya.